Y'all, welcome to episode 134. Today, and by we, I mean a lot of Samantha, is going to talk about selling on Facebook.
Woohoo! All right.
And not in the traditional marketplace like y'all think, because you are not the only one having slow times on there. We all are.
Yeah, let's make that distinction like right up clear, right up front. There are two things we're talking about here. Well, one we're talking about, but Facebook Marketplace is a marketplace where you sell your items and they have it set up with checkout and all of that good stuff. A lot of us familiar sell on there or try to sell on there. A lot of us do local pickup. But we are not talking about that today. We are talking about something totally different way to sell on Facebook. And Samantha is our lady. We get a lot of questions about running Facebook auction groups, about selling on Facebook, selling through private groups. So let's see how Samantha does it so successfully. All right.
Yeah. So groups, I run several groups. I run a garage sale group. So I always know right up front what garage sales are going to be in my area. And I have a ready list. And then I also have this auction group. Another thing that I just kind of took over because that's what I do. So in Sioux, Ontario, or in Canada in general, from my understanding, they love auctions. They love auctions. There are so many groups over there, and the majority of them are auction style. 24 hours, 3 days, 5 day, 1 week. There's so many different groups over there. So a Canadian resident that worked over here started a group on my side for 24-hour auctions, and nobody knew about it. Nobody used it. There was like 25 people in it. Wasn't a thing. And he got frustrated. I don't know how much he advertised or shared it in other groups or what he did to try to make it known. But I somehow stumbled across it, and I started listing there. For the first couple years, it was just my group. As I built it up and got people in there, I was the only one posting in it. And then now I've made people more comfortable, and there are so many people that posted it in it. We have about 6,000 members, and it's a beautiful little community.
25 to 6,000?
Yeah, well, immediately, I think I upped it to like 500 within the first couple months that I was in there. And he messaged me and said, well, you're doing a great job. I'm going to remove myself from the group.
I'm out.
And he just handed it right over. Yeah.
Takeover.
I don't know if it was because I was doing such a good job growing it and he had lost interest, or if he was sick of seeing all my stuff, because I was literally the only one posting in there, and I would post hundreds of items every weekend just because that's when I had time to sell stuff. And that was my platform, was Facebook groups. So this is the way that I sold things for almost a decade, was just this Facebook group. I will share my screen.
Screen share. Woo!
Let's see this group you're talking about.
So up until recently, it was a public group. That way, when someone posted things, they could still share it to other groups. But because there's been so many changes to Facebook and there are so many scammers out there, they used to have good things in place. Like if their account was brand new or things like that, then I could block those people from even like looking or joining our group. But now scammers are hacking people's accounts that they've had forever. So I had to make it private to kind of help with security a little bit more.
Gotcha.
So this is just generally, they have an ends on date. That's basically all they need. And the location is automatically filled in by Facebook. When you enter it, the number is their starting bid, and then people just bid in the comments. So I will share one of my listings. I add a lot more to mine, just because I'm running more of a business. So I need people to, how can I just view it? I need people to know that I have like tax included and things like that. I do charge people tax when I do my local deals and things like that. So I put in here where I'm located. I put in that everything is under consignment, so tax will be added. how I meet or deliver, I used to just do front porch pickup. So I would put that. I have to make sure to put Michigan in things because Canadians get confused on which Sioux it is. And then what form of payment did I accept? But like you saw with the other ones, a lot of people just put the ending time and their location, and then they work all the other stuff out afterwards. Some people only do cash. Some people only do Venmo. As long as they list it in there, then we're good to go.
Wow.
And the ending time, she actually doesn't. She doesn't have one, Michelle.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
What happens in a case like this?
So I'm gonna message her before it ends so she can update that, and we'll put it in the comments as well.
Oh, okay.
But on a desktop or laptop computer, you can see what time she posted it. So I will message her and say, hey, put that it ends, the 18th at 7:51, because it's literally just 24 hours from the time that you post it. And then if people are bidding like crazy and you don't know who bid last, you can hover over that time as well. And anybody that had the highest bid at 7:50 would be the person that won it. So it literally just, as soon as that clock strikes 7:51, the auction's done.
Nice.
Okay.
Ooh,
I'm just,
that.
first of all, hilarious that you had never been to an auction and you run this auction group.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. Just throwing that out there. If you haven't watched Samantha's auction video, you definitely need to go see her first auction. But you know what my first question is? How much work is it to run this group?
So I don't like going into groups that have long lists of rules. However, my group has a long list of rules. You're only allowed to have 10 rules on Facebook, and mine has all 10.
Okay.
Oh, it only has 9. Maybe it's only 9 you're allowed. I know I have the max because sometimes there's a rule that's more important to the group at the time, and we have to swap out a lesser rule that we think isn't that relevant anymore or doesn't need to be stressed.
Okay.
I have one other person that helps moderate. And for the majority of it, the people that are selling in here have been selling for a while. Some of them are my consignment clients. They bring me their higher end things, and then they sell in here. And they're pretty good about reaching out to me and saying, hey, so-and-so has bought things a couple times and not picked up. I warn once and then I remove.
Okay.
And I don't have to do that very often. It was a lot of work at first. And then as everybody learns the rules and does their thing, they kind of govern each other, and it's not that big a deal. I will say
they take care of somebody posts something, one of your members posts something, it's on auction, and they take care of monitoring who was the winning bid and making arrangements. So you generally don't have to have any involvement in that.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. The only time I'm involved is if most people do this from their phone, so they don't have the capability to see timestamps. I get a couple messages a week saying, hey, can you look at who won that auction? And then, yeah, just the few times that they have an issue with somebody not picking up or the way that they're bidding or something. I do only allow 5 posts per day now. And the way that we do that is, I'll show you Miss Sherry's because she does an amazing job of it. So we would have way too many posts in here. We want to be able to scroll through and see things that are still available. You don't want to come through here and see something that's not up for auction anymore. That's annoying. But Facebook Facebook only allows so many things. I know. I love that mixer.
I know I'm shopping right now.
I know. So what we do is we will put more items in the comments. So this person, she has this item as the highlighted one, but then she'll say, more items in the comments. And when you come down here, you can see all these little individual auctions under that post. So it's not cluttered up with hundreds of posts and only 10 of them are currently available. If any post is over 3 days old, I delete it. I go through every couple days and delete all old posts if the poster hasn't done it already. And then people can just go through here and reply to Sherry in these posts, and bid on individual items. These people did not see that one. We'll have to go through here and sometimes people don't understand the reply thing. So Sherry, she'll probably be on here soon. She'll go through and just let her know to hit reply to the item that she's actually bidding on.
Okay.
Sherry puts a lot of stuff on there and does it very well. She does some retail arbitrage, she thrifts, and she is like clockwork, 5 posts, usually with at least 5 things each on those posts. And she's listing 25 things a day on here.
For her.
And she does it at like 11:30 at night when everybody's went to bed and she's still up late, just hanging out at home. She's retired librarian. She absolutely loves it. She's great. I've tried to convince her to sell on eBay. She wants nothing to do with it.
Well, she has this figured out. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do good. And like I said, I just go through and I delete things so that it stays up to date and accurate, because there's nothing that I hate more than a group that's cluttered, or you go to it and you can't see anything that's available.
Right.
So do we have any more questions on the group and running the group? Because here's what I really want to know is how Samantha uses this and makes it worthwhile and work for her business.
Yes. So my process, now that I have this group, before it was my platform, it was my main platform. I listed so many a day. And for a long time, it was just me. I'd put 200 items in a weekend and boom, that was my thing. Now I take all of if I get lower end things, like, I can only list them for $5 or $10, not really worth my time. They're going to sit on eBay. I will list them in here for that $5 or $10 and let people go for it there. If I've listed it, I'll list it once. If somebody doesn't bid, I'll list it again in a couple weeks. And then if nobody bids then, and I try to vary like dates and times of the week. If nobody bids then that item normally gets donated. It's not worth any more time. It's not going to bring a lot. All of my clients know that. Most of my clients are in that group and they found me through that group and they know what I do. So they're all fine with that's my model. Scrolling through that group, like 4 of those people are actually my clients. A lot of them love to shop, but you can only put 5 posts on a day. So they have to have Samantha also make posts for them.
Right.
I'm like their VA, I guess.
Yeah, you are their VA. I love that.
Now, right now, the main way that I use it, because most items that I get are great for eBay and all the other platforms. So the way I use it now is if an item is over 6 months old, normally like 9 months right now, I've been giving things a little bit more time online. I will go through and say, okay, I've marked down this item. It's been on multiple platforms. I've tried everything I can try online. I only have so much space, so I can't keep holding it here. And I will list it in the auction group for $1, $5, or sometimes I lot things up and just say, this is a box of women's size large and extra large. And I literally just take a picture of the stuffed box and it's a mystery lot. So yeah, that's how I get rid of my expired items and send a lot less stuff to Goodwill.
So I didn't even know this existed until you told me about it. Everything I ever did in that kind of sense or idea on Facebook were the yard sale groups. Mm-hmm. But I had never seen this in the auction sense. It's really, really cool.
Yeah. So, all right. You do something really cool. You take it one step further for your business. When people purchase something from you on auction.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, this is key. This is brilliant. All right.
So especially this past weekend, I got rid of the 5 post minimum rule and I said free for all because I had a lot of stuff. Everybody knows that.
I guess that's one of the things about running the group is you can make you make up your own rules to suit your business. Cool.
Exactly. And I will randomly make posts. I'll say, breaking the rules today. Here's a fundraiser I'm supporting. Go look at it. Or, hey, I have a lot of stuff to clean out of my dining room this week. So yeah, I did unlimited posts and people loved it. I loved it. I posted hundreds of things. And the same with Palooza though. The shipping hangover is real. I may be meeting these people in person However, I still have to gather all these items, put them in baggies with their names on them, and then go meet them places because there's no front porch pickup at my home right now.
Mhm.
So I didn't quite remember what I was signing up for because it's been a long time since I did this type of volume in there. And although I love it and I love the community and people were so excited, it's a lot. I have to meet people in an hour. So it's, yeah. But what I do is, so most people will buy multiple things to begin with. They'll bid on multiple auctions. I'll tell them they won. If I have a multi-quantity item, I say, hey, I found another one of those charging stations and I'll give you a deal of selling it to you for $6 if you want to add that in. And so I'll add that. I also tell them this past weekend I did 25% off. Usually I'm like around like 15% off. But I'll say I'm giving all my local meetup customers, 15% off anything from my website. And I put my website in there. Let me know if you want to add anything by 5 p.m. and I can add it to your order for tomorrow. And
boom, driving traffic to your website. That is a question we get all the time, how to drive that traffic.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a Shopify. If I didn't have this group, I would not have a Shopify. Like that's otherwise I'd get like 3 orders a year on there because you have to be able to drive traffic. So that's how I do it. Every week, just sending people there, even if they're not buying things, they're looking at it. I had a consignor this week and she won one of the auctions. She rarely buys from me. She won one of the auctions and she goes, do I have enough credit for that? And I said, it was a $7 item. You get an automatic 10% off. I have it built right into Consign Cloud that they get a 10% off for using their credit. I said, and you have hundreds of dollars. So here's this link so you can check your balance. And also here's my website. If you want to add anything else, just remember you get that extra 10% off. I might not have mentioned the other 25 that I was giving up. I made her a deal. She would message me a picture and say, hey, would you take 10 on this instead of 15? Hey, would you? And we bundle all kinds of stuff. I have to finish her order because I'm bringing them to her tomorrow morning when I pick up more consignment. And she got a lot of stuff.
Brilliant.
That's
you go, girl.
Wow. So what would you say? Somebody's thinking about starting an auction group, or maybe they run what we call a yard sale group down here in the South, down here south of Michigan.
I was about to say, you're not in the South.
Compared to Samantha, I am.
Yes, she definitely is. So I'm always open to sharing my list of rules. Like I said, my group used to be public, so I would just give people the link, but I can screenshot and send you how mine is set up because people could have one in every community. And I don't want any more people really to join my group. It would be too much to manage. So go for it. The best way for people to catch on is to do it yourself. So just like a consignor agreement where you have to have all those rules in place before you go out and find consignors, you figure out what you want for your rules on your posts. Like what kind of information would you need to purchase something? And then you just test it out. Start doing some auctions on there. I started them on my business page at first and just said, hey, we have a group that does X, Y, and Z, and it looks kind of like this. And I ran a couple on the Sorting with Samantha page. I got tons more people into the auction group because they saw an example of it. I also share to other garage sale groups or online reselling Facebook groups, and people see like, hey, there's a different style. Look at all these things that started for $1. That gets people over there. And once they just gotta see it, just like any other part of business, just talk about it and do it. You can do it.
I love
What would you say is, I don't like to end on a negative, so I'll have to come up with another question after this, but what would you say is the most challenging part of this, or what would prevent someone from maybe it being a good fit for their business?
It is lower end things. It's not eBay prices. So I do get I've had some consigners in the past that they're like, why did you start that thing for $5? And I said, well, you wanted it sold quickly. And that's how I sell things quickly, is in that group. I could sell that thing for $15 on eBay, but it's going to sit there. So setting that expectation up front with your consigners, or yourself and knowing that you are not going to get online prices in there. However, it's very quick, and that is the positive on it. You can set 24. I know there are 12-hour auction ones in Canada. There are ones that are 3 days, they're a week. I would recommend that being one of your rules, though, and write in your title is how long it is. Don't let other people set that. Don't let people edit their posts and say, oh, this didn't sell, so I'm extending it another. No, don't do that. Yeah, it can be lower items, just like doing a Posh Live or things like that, whatnot. But it's quick. It's the same reason for doing those types of things. It's quick, and you can do it locally so that you don't have to do shipping. I did not know how to ship anything for the longest time because everybody just picked it up off my porch or came to my office at the hospital. They weren't supposed to, but they did. And picked up their items. And I had a continuous base of people that supported me.
That's great. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You gonna start an auction group, Molly?
I don't know. I was just sitting here a second ago, kind of Googling through going, are there any local? I got to figure out how to search them and find out if there's any auction groups local.
Yeah. For anybody watching this, let us know in the comments if there is one near you, because I really only know about this because of Ontario and being, miles away from Canada. I would love to know if there's something in your area.
Yeah, because you're the only one I've heard of doing this style. So
yeah.
Look at those.
I mean, we do have people in our community that sell in Facebook groups. Or have they'll distribute their items to different Facebook groups, but then they'll also, other people will have a Facebook group that they'll sell in, and they usually just mark the price of the item, and it's a private group and people can purchase it, but
so I
not
think
auction style.
I think this really helps, especially now that the last couple of years that other people are posting their own auctions, because I don't have to go in there and post every day. The group is running by itself. It's very minimal now of what I need to do or keep up with in there. I can go in there and list my 5 items. I can say unlimited this weekend and list a ton of them. But now if I don't want to list in there for the next 3 weeks until I, purge my stuff next month of all my expired inventory, people aren't bored or leaving the group or forget what it is because it's continuously running. That base is always there.
And isn't that the dream?
Yeah.
To get something started and be able to step away. It's self-sufficient. That's awesome.
And I like the 24-hour thing. I like that, just, put that sense of urgency there with the shopper going, ooh,
Yeah.
I like that.
Because if you just list something in one of your other groups, it's there until you mark it sold. But with these ones, they need to comment on it, because otherwise, and I have some last minute snipers in there. Sometimes I'm looking on my phone and I'm like, did you catch that in time? And I have to go and look, because they will wait until the last minute. If people aren't bidding, they'll snipe it.
Get 'em.
Wow.
Get 'em. Sniper, no sniping. I love a good sniper.
Oh my God.
Love it. Well, I'm going to go find one in my area. And then if not, I don't know. Will I start one? I have to wait and see. I don't know.
It sounds really enticing.
Yeah.
I'm not taking anything on right now. If you're wondering, you guys, I'm in the middle of a move. I'm totally stressed and overwhelmed. So yeah, if you're wondering, hey, what's wrong? Why isn't Libby jumping on this? This is a really good idea. She jumps on everything. That's why I'm just deferring to Molly right now. I'm behaving.
She's putting it in my neck of the woods here. So I'm going to go
behaving.
research. I'm going to go research. I'm going to go see if anybody's doing it around here. I want to know.
And let us know. Yeah.
I'm going to find them. All right, y'all. I'm going to toast because I got to go. I got to go.
Right.
All right. Until next week, when I might have information on my auctions. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for joining Libby, Molly, and Samantha, the ladies of Consignment Chats, as we build a resourceful community of collaborative resellers. Find all the ways to connect with us on consignmentchats.com. Episodes are available on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcasts. In addition, join our free private Facebook community.